Well, hello vinyl community people. It's Mike MGK Boston back with a video on a Sunday. Much nicer day than yesterday. Yesterday it was a soupy mess around here. It was like the Amazon rainforest. And of course, stupid me, I agreed to go for a marathon training run with my friend Bryant. I've mentioned him before. He's getting ready for a marathon in Cape Cod. First week of October. I feel like I'm getting ready for it. So yeah, we did a murky 8 miles. It felt like 80. 80, and it was like 75-80% humidity. It was nasty, so that kind of wrote me off for the rest of the day. I felt like crap, a little dehydrated, but I'm back at it today, feeling great, and the sun is out, and we're done with the rain. So anyway, I am going to jump on a thread, and this isn't just any thread. It's a thread about threads. Yes, you heard that right. Brian over at the Embryonic Robot, y'all know him. He's a man of much knowledge. He thought this up, and I thought it was pretty clever. So it's, that saying like, hey man, nice threads. It's like, nice clothes, whatever. So it's, the whole thread is about showing albums centered kind of around what the artist is wearing, or in some cases not wearing. So you'll see what I mean by that. So anyway, I'm just going to show a dozen or so. So I'll put a link in the description, because I'm smart and know how to do that now. I'm so tech savvy, to Brian's channel. And you can check it out. So anyway, let's get going here. So I had a really good laugh when Brian actually showed a Leonard Cohen album. And, of course, he's a sharp-dressed man. Here he is. He's with a couple of lovely ladies, like he would do, rather. And he's wearing a suit, no tie, but he's representing, looking good. So Brian made a comment that he was kind of like the alternative Don Johnson. And that was a laugh out loud. Very, very funny, Brian. So anyway, this is Death of a Ladies Man. Of course, this was produced by crazy Phil Spector. Right there you can see, Phil Spector, when he wasn't shooting guns and going nuts, he produced some great music, including this album. So this definitely, you always know it's a Leonard Cohen album as soon as you hear the voice, but this definitely has Phil Spector's touch in the studio on this one. That's unmistakable. And this is a really good album. This is actually one of my favorite Leonard Cohen albums, and I probably have about half a dozen, and I have a best of, and I'm probably all set. I think Brian over at Embryonic Robot's a bit of a completist with the Cohen stuff, but there's nothing wrong with that, because it's all good. So yeah, on this one, Paper Thin Hotel is great, and of course the title track, Death of a Ladies Man. There's the ladies right there, and there's the ladies man right in the center, Leonard Cohen. All right, what do we got here? Oh yeah, we're heading down southern United States. Boys from Macon, Georgia. It's the Allman Brothers Band. This is their debut from 1969. There's the late, great Duane Allman down in front. Yeah, so anyway, and there's Greg, his brother, right there on the side, and all the other cast of characters. So what I said, what they're wearing or what they're not wearing, there's this bizarro image here. Don't know if that's some kind of hillbilly thing, but yeah, they're just enjoying the great outdoors there. So that's the Allman Brothers Band. Self-titled debut. All right, these fashionistas, look at these guys and gals. It's the B-52s right here, and this one, of course, is Wild Planet, their second album from 1980, I believe. Release date on this one. Yeah, look at them. They don't know whether or not they want to live in 1980 or 1960. They were real retro always with their looks. Some of the key ones on this one: Devil in My Car is great. Party Out of Bounds. Private Idaho is awesome. There's a good video for that one if you wanted to look it up. And it's the B-52s, Wild Planet. Fashion. Oh, yes. Fernando Lamas. You Look Marvelous, baby. It's Billy Crystal. Yeah, I have this 12-inch single for You Look Marvelous. There he is. His character that he played on Saturday Night Live, Fernando Lamas. He was kind of like it was kind of a take on like a loungy Merv Griffin kind of. He'd sit in this restaurant and have various guests. So when I was thinking about making this video, I thought of this because, as his saying was, I would rather look good than to feel good. That was his favorite, one of his taglines, besides saying you look marvelous a million times, and every time he would do the skit. So there he is, of course, dressed up as his character, and there's just Billy Crystal. This is in 1985. It was a great time for Saturday Night Live at that time. A lot of good stuff going on, including this. So I'll put a link below to a skit with Ringo Starr and his wife Barbara Bach. They were special guests. And then he had other people on there like Howard Cosell, various people that were big at the time, sports figures, actors, musicians. And, you know, he just talked to them for 5 or 6 minutes, and it's very funny. I thought it was pretty funny anyway. And yeah, so look, he's got an autographed photo of Mr. T behind him here. That's pretty funny. So yeah, you look marvelous. And if the regular version's not enough for you, there's a dub version on the B-side. So again, I'll put a link to that skit with Ringo Starr and Barbara Bach also in the description below. Hilarious for your Sunday. All right. This is borderline ridiculous. Well, it's not borderline. It's totally ridiculous. This is the second album from Country Joe and the Fish. It's called I Feel Like I'm Fixin' to Die. Yeah, these outfits are just, yeah, it's like a circus act. In my mind, they were a psych rock outfit. I don't know, they bordered on parody for me. I got this was in a collection that I got a couple of years ago, and I've kept it because it's not worth anything, because it has the guy's name in the corner here that owned this collection before I got it. So I chose to keep it, but I've only listened to this through once. It's just not something I really dig, and I like a lot of psych, but this doesn't really work for me. But neither do these clothes. So yeah, clearly they haven't taken a page out of the Ben Rankin's fashion catalog with those wardrobe choices. Absolutely terrible. All right, absolute beginners though, and this is David Bowie. This is a 12-inch single. This is a British film. I didn't realize Patsy Kensit was in it. There she is right there, her name right there. She's a knockout. Patsy Kensit, British actress. And the name of the film was, of course, Absolute Beginners, and this is the title song. I really liked it. I like a lot of David Bowie. I like old David Bowie. I like 80s Bowie. Doesn't matter. I really like it. I like it right till the end, till he passed on a couple of years ago. So this is, you've got the full-length version on the A side, and then the dub version on the B side. Excellent song if you don't know it. It was just from the film soundtrack, not on any David Bowie album. And of course, like I said, this is just a 12-inch single. And David Bowie, of course, yeah, talking about, you know, his clothes. Like here, he's got the nice overcoat and always wearing a shirt and tie. All right. And this is Casual Friday for Eddie Grant. Yes, he's a killer on the rampage. He'd been at it here for about 5 or 6 albums. This one's from 1982, I want to say. 83, actually. So, yeah, I can't figure out if he's going for a little jog on the beach. He's got his Adidas Stan Smith sneakers on. I used to have a pair of those way back in the day. So, yeah, if you don't know this album, then you've been living under a rock, I guess, as the saying goes. I bought this when it came out. I would have been in maybe 8th or 9th grade. Electric Avenue was just a huge hit. I will also put a link below. I don't know if you're familiar with the films Jackass. I'm a big fan. I don't know how the Academy ever missed giving those guys awards for Film of the Year. I love Jackass. Great stuff. So they did one of their stunts was Electric Avenue, where they set up cattle prods and a bunch of other hazardous electrical stuff hanging from the ceiling in this hallway, and they play Electric Avenue, the song, as they're doing it. It's totally ridiculous, but it's hilarious. I'll also put a link to that Jackass skit, Electric Avenue, in the description below after this video. So again, it's Killer on the Rampage, and it's Casual Friday with Mr. Eddie Grant. All right, not casual here. The late great man in black, it's Johnny Cash. He walks the line clearly, and he always wore a black suit, white shirt. There he is, no tie, but yeah, that was his look. And yeah, you all know this. I Walk the Line, Born to Lose is on this. Cry, Cry, Cry. There you go. It's great. There you go on the back. There he is. Different shots of the man in black. There he is, Johnny Cash, walking the line. All right, now we're clowning around with the Pav. It's Luciano Pavarotti. Yes, one of the great tenors. No longer with us. He passed back in 2007. I am a fan of opera music. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've got 3 or 4 Pavarotti's releases, a couple of actual operas. This is a greatest hits compilation, clearly, and it's a double album, and it's just different outtakes throughout his career. And he's clowning around right there. So normally he would be wearing a tuxedo for his performances, but here again it must have been Casual Friday for this photo shoot, because he's very casual, wearing his clown onesie, if you will. So it's Pavarotti. All right, so let's get into some more 80s fashion here again. It's Nick Kershaw. I don't think I've ever seen this in the vinyl community. Kind of like a synth pop, if you will. This one's called Human Racing. This one came out in 1984. There he is, and he's kind of got a Don Johnson look there. I mentioned Don Johnson earlier. That was that look, Miami Vice, with the blazer and just a white t-shirt. and he's got it going on there. So yeah, the big hit was from this one was a track called Wouldn't It Be Good? Very listenable, nice 80s vibe to it here. I don't want to block out that great looking casual suit and that hair, right? I'm just jealous. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. All right. Like I said, sometimes clothing is optional. Yes, a little orchestral pop for you. Easy listening. It's Paul Moriat and his orchestra. And she's got nothing on but a tattoo right there. And that's, I don't know, some supermodel on the front of this Paul Moriat album. This is just a bunch of nice instrumental music. Like I say, this is like nice Sunday afternoon music. Does a version of Something Stupid on here. Does a version of the Beatles' Penny Lane. Yeah, you get the idea. And of course, Love is Blue. That was one of his big hits on the instrumental charts. And this is from sometime in the mid to late 60s. And it's blooming hits right there. And there she is. Clothing optional. All right, rounding things out, folks. When's the last time you wore a suit with a bunch of light bulbs on it? So yeah, that's this one I thought of immediately when I saw Brian's video. So I call this guy Light Bulb Man. So this is Delicate Sound of Thunder. It's Pink Floyd live, as it says right here. This was for the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour. You can see on the inside, nice gatefold. There they are on stage. So yeah, of course, there's all the personnel listed. This is a really nice package. Inside, it's Floyd. Of course, it's live. Juggling match here. You got Shine On. They go from the early stuff kind of right up to the present. So again, Learning to Fly, of course, is on here for Momentary Lapse of Reason. On the Turning Away is another good one. One of these days, they do a good version of that as well. You get the idea. It's just some great Pink Floyd. And that's going to close out this Thread About Threads video. There they are, Light Bulb Man, say goodbye to him. And that'll round out the video, folks. So again, I'll put those links below in the description of those things I talked about in the video. Please check them out. I think you'll dig that Jackass skit. And of course, Fernando Lamas, You Look Marvelous. And of course, I'll have a link below to Brian and Embryonic Robot, his Thread About Threads that started this Thread About Threads. So jump on, do it, have some fun. And I'll see you next time.